Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Africa. I'm Opeitum Philbert Mustafa Adebo, an African from a district called Uganda, in that one country known as Africa. I take this opportunity to air out my thoughts about this continent of Africa. In the year 2013, to be exact, the 54 heads of states of Africa were in Addis Ababa, and they came up with 7 aspirations, which they named them as African Agenda 2063. As a Pan-Africanist, I took time going through them. When I went through them, I really appreciated the work of our heads of states, what they are thinking about us. They really love this continent. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank them for all the hard work they are doing. And those 7 aspirations include, in simple terms, 1, that by the year 2063, Africa is one country. 2, Africa will be using one currency. 3, Africa will be governed by one government, one head of states. Even though if you are not someone who laughs always when you hear about that in this continent called Africa, you are going to appreciate. 4, that Africans are going to start consuming their own products and producing their own foods. That is a great aspiration as people of Africa. That me, from a district called Uganda, in this town called Kampala, I can move to my neighbor district, Kenya, to their town, Nairobi, go to Tanzania, go to Egypt, go to Ethiopia, go to Sudan, go to South Sudan, go to Mali, go to Ivory Coast, go to Tunisia, even go up to Madagascar, go to Morocco, just to move around without using any passport, without using any identity card. Only Africans, we have got in those aspirations. One aspiration is saying that by the year 2063, we are going to be using one passport. That is really a great thought our African heads of state have ever thought about. But I have got problems with them. These so-called aspirations which we aspire were formulated in the year 2013. But the year I'm recording this video is the year 2022. As I'm talking now, if I'm not mistaken, it is maybe 0.0005 of all the African population which knows about the existence of this aspiration. It really pains me whenever time comes and we pretend that we are celebrating African Liberation Day. And during that time, like for example, this district called Uganda, when recently on 25th I was in Kololo trying to celebrate African Liberation Day, but the fact is I was disappointed when it came to giving respects to our district and country called Africa and region called East Africa. Like, for the example, for the Ugandan national anthem, it is still in English. But in that aspiration of 2063, we say that time we are going to be using one language, and that is Swahili. And we adopted it even just recently by African Union. But what pains me all, that when we are celebrating such days, we sing a Ugandan anthem in English. And we are pretending that we are celebrating African Liberation Day. We sing the East African anthem. But worst of all is that we don't sing African national anthem. It pains me a lot. The point I'm trying to drive to is that for us to achieve as Africans, African Agenda 2063, we have, first of all, the first thing to do is to interpret this African Agenda 2063, to promote public awareness of African Agenda 2063. Because, to remind you of one of the short goals of these Africans, this African Agenda 2063 was that by the year 2020, the guns will be silent. But the fact is, even right now, the guns are making sound. Africa is bleeding. Through the guns, my neighbor here, Democratic Republic of Congo, is dying. The South Sudanese are not at peace. The reason why I think we are not going to achieve African Agenda 2063 without us promoting public awareness of it is that when people are not involved in this struggle, nothing is going to happen. Therefore, what we have to do first is to promote its public awareness. And how can we do that? One, we have to include in the curriculums of education of all African countries, of all these African districts, which they name them countries. Because the people who are going to be there during that time are not even we, the university students. It will be our brothers and sisters who are in secondary, who are in primary, who are in nursery. But when those brothers of ours and those sisters of ours don't have any clue about African Agenda 2063, we are lying ourselves. Therefore, as I conclude, I'm going to remind ourselves of one of the quotes which always disturb my mind. Albert Einstein once said that the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but the world will be destroyed by those who watch them without anything. I take this initiative to invite every African who knows that he is an African to come up and carry this cross of promoting public awareness of African Agenda 2063. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you know. But as long as you have got some little clue about African Agenda 2063, I call for your inclusion in this struggle. Because, as we all know, God, the creator of this continent, of this world, has got very many strong issues, tough issues to deal with. He's not going to come and do this for us. Either will he send the angels from heaven to come and do this for us. Therefore, it is we to take the initiative to do this. Because if we don't do it, we are the ones who are going to be done. Thank you for listening. I wish every African who is listening to this message now a blessed afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever you are. I rest my case.